Alright, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Baron, and we're going to show off the Polikarpov I-185 and preferably not get bow-fightered. Now, I was just talking about some of my previous videos about the changes, and it looks here that we just spawned into an already active game. So I'm going to be joyriding around a bit, and I'm going to be talking about changes in weapon systems. The Bowfighter Mark X, for example, those 12.7mm machine guns have been dropped to 7.7s. So the firepower is decreased a little bit, although that aircraft is likely to remain one of the most potent foes in terms of firepower, especially in the middle to lower tiers. But we're talking Russian weapon systems, so as I joyride around and you take a look at how gorgeous this Polikarpov I-185 is, with its M82 engine, and you can see how it has rockets. It's also capable of carrying bombs, and I believe it was up to 2 60-kilo bombs. But there are a couple things that have been in the patch notes, one of which is the new Yak-9 UT, which I talked about previously and do have some footage on if you want to check it out. Has unlockable 37mm and 45mm cannons. So let's try to rocket this bad boy here. A lot of misses, but the one thing that's kind of cool about this plane is it's got 3 20s. You can hear those distinctive 20s right here as we sneak up on this B-25 and hopefully hit that precious little elevator, in which we did. We ripped up the elevator and we also hit the gunner. Always a good thing if you're gonna hop in behind a bomber with some tail gunners. We did take some damage. So the Lavochkin 5 rear armored glass has been removed. The IL-2, IL-2M and IL-10 wing frame durability has been adjusted. I think in past iterations of patches that the wings were just so fragile, and a very awesome ground attack plane just became, hey, shoot it in the wing and it's generally dead. Now the SHKAS machine guns have been changed in terms of their ammunition count. You no longer have 3,000 rounds of ammunition between them, but in a gun you now have 1,500. So those guns are still very, very powerful, very, very potent, albeit their ammunition capacity is less. And I wonder if this P-47 has bazookas, because those have been added. So the Germans had their Italian bombers, the Italian line under the German tree. The Italian bombers number has been reduced, and that has also happened to the Russians. Both the SB-2 and the Year 2 lines have been reduced to 4 bombers each respectively. Now if you want those planes, which I guess are kind of collectible items now, let's get a quick kills with our 20s. Don't you love it? Okay, there's that gorgeous fire effects now. It just doesn't really get old. It's pretty awesome. So as we go down, let me tell you which planes will no longer be. So if you want to have every plane that ever was and you've done your best and you just haven't bought these planes yet, the Year 2s, the Year 2 M105 TAT and Year 2 M105R TAT, this one right here, will no longer be available. And of the SB-2 planes, 2 of them are going to go away. The SB-2 M103 MV3 and the SB-2 M103U will no longer be available. So those things are hot commodities. One of the new planes we're also going to talk about is the Mig-3-15 BK. What I like about this MiG is that you have 5 machine guns. And here you can see those SHKAS, or SHKAS as I pronounce them, machine guns, and the ammunition between both of them is 1,500 rounds, down from 3,000, or what it would have been in had this plane come into the game earlier. And then, but basically 5 machine guns. You notice with a lot of the, especially the earlier level Russian fighters, that their machine guns are generally one heavier one and one lighter one, and that's usually it. Every now and then you'll get 3. But so having 5 machine guns, and you can see 2 kind of nestled under the wings and 3 firing out of the nose, is a pretty cool addition. It's definitely a plane I would like to fly because Your burst mass is likely to increase. In many cases, you're only going to have, you know, that ideal shot for a couple seconds, so more guns the merrier. Although generally, these wing mounts will likely decrease maneuverability. But tell you what, they did rather well right there. Quick damage to tail. Being able to put out all that lead really quickly did do a pretty good job, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really looking forward to playing this plane, the Mig-3-15 BK. Alright, so P-47 Thunderbolt. But see, the turns are a little slower. Alright, so we got, do you hear that? Some kind of issue with the flaps. Those 12.7 shredding and those 7.62s always doing a decent job. Hello, friend. So as we get killed and we take down that guy, we'll go back to, alright, Kamirs, the Polikarpov I-185 M82. So all these two new ones, Polikarpov's at tier 3, the Mig-3-15's at tier 2, but I like the Polikarpov style planes. I mean, after all, the guy did develop the Po II, which is just too overpowered, really, for most people to play it properly. Now, we do have rockets and we do have some light tanks, but to get there, you can see that I'm going to have to jump through a lot of hoops. We're going to do our best. We're going to try to avoid these guys, doing some corkscrews and all kinds of fun maneuvers. Basically, not be too predictable and unload. So we got our target and we got taken down. But this is kind of the fun of playing arcade mode on the dev server, especially hopping into a battle already in place. But guess what? We're gonna catch these couple last seconds as my team is incapable of doing much, and we're gonna take a look at a plane that will no longer be in the game. The Year 2 M105R TAT. This is the BT. And I wonder, maybe this one will be in game, but you know what? Check the list. It's on the forums. I mean, if you're one of those guys, I'm actually tempted to buy both the Italian bombers and the Russian bombers that will no longer be in the game, simply because they're going to be relatively exclusive. You know, yeah, there's going to be a lot of same models, but it'll be kind of cool to have them still, just as it was the Po II. And you never know, they may make a comeback, just like the Polikarpov Po did. But so this was some of the new Russian planes, and a lot of the changes in the Russian armament and weapon systems. So we'll look at them real quick in the research tree, just to kind of give you a heads up. So we're going to look at the Year 2s. Here they are. There are 6 right now, but I mean, according to the patch notes, what's likely to change is the Year 102. Okay, so we were right. We did get to see a brave last flight. Not fight. Well, I guess he didn't really get much time for fighting now, did he? M105R TAT, which is the top one. And then we have the Year 2 M105 TAT, which is the second highest one. So they're dropping the 2 highest ones in the Year 2 lineup. Now we'll take a look at the SB2s. So here you can see 6 of them. This number will decrease to 4. I mean, according to the patch notes, these are obviously subject to change. And we have the SB2M103 MV3, the top one again, and the 2M103U. So in both the Year 2 and the SB2Ms, the top 2 of the 6 will be removed. So get them while they're hot, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, my name is Baron. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, entertaining, and all of that good stuff. Check the video description below for links to other videos related to patch 1.37 dev server footage. We got some pretty good, all of these nice new tier 4 Russian planes. Focke-Wulf 190, the Lavochkin 9, who's top of the Lavochkin tree, the Yak-9U, and the very customizable Yak-9UT with a couple of different weapon layouts. Would you like 23mm, 37mm, or 45mm? So make sure to pull the trigger on that like button, and I thank you all for watching. Otsu and Kai 61 Hey can now mount 2 50 kilos and 2 250 kilo bombs. So we're going to be trying to get a shot on this medium tank. So we're armed with AP rounds. We're firing 20s and our 3.7. Now those were Japanese, which tend to be weaker, and I'm not sure if damage models really are, you know, make some tanks a little more stronger than others.